G'day guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're just going to be removing this front bar. We're going to take a look at the intercooler, the transcooler, and also going to suss out some stuff on this front bar. I've got on to the guy that owns Ant's Performance about my intercooler. So I'm going to show you how I hooked it up and the proper way to do it. I'm going to suss out if I can move it up higher or if it's going to be in the way of the transcooler. And we'll also be hooking up the transcooler. So we'll start taking off the bar now. I've also got to get it set up properly because I haven't put it on properly as of yet because I've only just brought this bar. So we'll pull him off first and then we'll suss out inside. Alright, so this is the transcooler. And how I done the intercooler was I made my own bracket to go from here up onto the top part. But what I found out was these holes right here are meant to be at the back and go into here. So I can drop down the whole intercooler, turn it around and put them holes in, but I'm hoping it won't affect my transcooler, because if it does I might be best off leaving it how it is. There's not, I can't even get the phone. There's not much gap between the transcooler and the intercooler. But I'm thinking right now what I'll do is I'll undo these two bolts, drop down the intercooler and see. So hopefully we can, and it'll bring the pipes up a bit closer too. And then I'll give you all a rundown on how the piping and everything was set up, and we will get to the transcooler last. So we'll do a time lapse now. I'll unbolt this, lift up the car and drop the cooler. Okay, so I've just had to pull the transcooler off. This, I'll hold it that way, you might see it better. This little part just here is just tapping the intercooler as I'm trying to put it in. So I'm going to quickly just go and grind this little piece off here, and then we should be good to go. Alright, so I've grinded it all down. You can see where I've cut it all there. It's pretty level now. So you would have seen in the time lapse, I've already flipped the intercooler around. So I'll go stick this back in now, lift up the intercooler, and hopefully it'll fit this time. Alright, now I'll take my phone out of here. Bloody smick. So we've got that lined up perfect with that hole. Pretty sure we're perfect on that side too. We look through this hole. There we go. Perfect space between the transcooler and the intercooler. Even got a little bit of clay still in there. So now I can put these bolts back in and she'll be sitting all pretty now. I'm interested to see how much of the intercooler will actually be sitting out the bottom now, especially with the new bar. Yeah, she's looking mean. What will I do now? I'll quickly time lapse this in. We'll put in the top bolts of that intercooler up the top rotor shoulders, line up properly. I'll put in the two bolts back in the transcooler and just throw on the bottom hoses. Obviously sun's already going down, so I probably won't get this all done today. Could end up being a two-part video, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I'm gonna probably call it quits soon with the sun going down. Start again tomorrow morning, but let's time lapse this and get this stuff back on. Okay, so we just finished up there, so now we're coming back at it today. After that time lapse I just went inside. So now what we're going to do is I've got to pull out, I've already pulled off one of the crossover pipes up the top. I've just got to pull over the actual crossover over the motor, the pipe after that, just so I can start pulling the fans out. So I'm going to take this off, pull the fans out so we can get to the two oil feed lines from the transcooler to start hooking up the transcooler. So I've already put these two on, but I'll explain these two bits later when we get to connecting it all. And I don't think I'm going to do the intercooler part in this video. I'm going to do it in another one. So I'm going to show you the video, and I'm going to actually fix this up better about modifying your stock crossover pipe, so you won't have to change anything or buy another expensive part. So for now we'll just jump in and I'm going to start pulling the pipe off and the fans. Alright, so I've just pulled out all that, so I've brought you down here. Sorry about the dogs. What we're going to be disconnecting is this hose here and this one just down here. So then we're going to pull these off, grind the end of these off, and then I have a attachment that connects to them, that then connects to the pipe. And then no more cooling through the radiator, so no more milkshakes, no more problems, and we get a bigger transcooler, so protect the gearbox. So next thing I'm going to do is find something to undo these two bolts. We'll pull these out and probably empty that out, or maybe block it off with a bolt, and then from there we'll just go on and I'll show you how to connect it all up. Alright, so we've removed both of these hoses. A little bit of oil came out the bottom one, nothing really out the top one. They're just going to become loose like that. If you really wanted to, you can find a bolt, same length, same everything as that, just with no hole in it to plug that hole. But really, you're only going to have a problem if your radiator cracks, which shouldn't happen, hopefully, now that this is done. Next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to bring you down here. Before we start, I'm just going to run you through some of the products we're using. Alright, so I just want to give a quick shout out to these guys at Speedflow for hooking us up with these products. They're sponsoring this video. I highly recommend them. They've got really good parts. They're probably top of the line. You are going to pay for these, don't get me wrong. I think I paid around $200 and something for just 4 connections, but yeah, they're very good. You can get these cheaper, but if you're going to do it right, you might as well go right. Highly recommend it. So pretty much what we're going to have here is we're going to have 2 connections. It's going to be these 2 here. Give you a quick rundown on this. So where we just pulled off that metal hose from, it is going to now live in here. So this is going to go over that metal hose. It's going to sit on there like that. It's going to go into this end cap here. That's also going to slide over that hose. And then this piece here is going to come slide over the hose and screw itself in. And that's going to be your new connection from that hose. So now that is going to be the connector from the end of your hose. And this little connector here just screws straight on the end. And now that's where your new hose connects to. It's simple as that. It's done pretty much the same thing over here. Just bring it down here. I'll undo one of these quickly. I think this is probably too tight to show you. Maybe this one. It's probably too tight too. Alright, there we go. Alright, so that's the top connector. Alright, just bring him in. He screws onto the top, and the bottom one, unless this comes out, I can't really show you because it's bloody tight on there at the moment. Yeah, well, when it's finished anyway, it looks like that. It screws straight onto the top of this connector. So then you just go to the top of your transcooler. Just want to make sure you line it up perfect so you don't cross thread anything. And you just screw straight in like that. And now that's your new connector. Now I'm pretty sure I'm having both my hoses run this way. That's the good thing about these. You can loosen this bolt and you can actually turn this to where you need it. So I think both hoses are going to be running this way. So next part we'll do is cut that metal hose and put on the other connectors. Alright, so we're going to start with this hose here, past the point of no return. So let's cut him off. Jump on this side. Okay, so I completely forgot I needed a flaring kit. So I just had to quickly go grab one for super cheap. So we're just gonna push this little piece on now. It's that little round part out of the middle. That will sit on there, and then the rest will slide over that. That's pretty much what's gonna stop it from falling out of here. So I'm gonna open him up now, and we will do the flange and get this piece on. Yeah, this is my first time doing this, so we'll see how it goes, eh? Okay, so I've got the flaring tool on here. I'll also just give you a heads up. I got the front camera on, so everything's kind of flipped at the moment. So I've got the flaring tool on here. I've got the piece to create it. So I guess let's give it a go. Alright. I'm just not sure how you get this piece. I guess it'd go down. Spin this up. Alright, here we go. Wow, I think that actually worked quite easily, and I think it actually done it. I was actually expecting that to be a lot harder. Wow, I'll bring this over and show you. Hopefully I can get it in the camera. Where are we? Look at that. Spot on. I'm actually really amazed with that. I don't know, I probably look like an idiot. I've never done this before, so just expected it to be really hard. I'll also bring you over. So what I had to do was, so I'm just trying to see if I can see it. So that metal part goes on there, so that'll stay behind where we flared it. And then we also put the back cap on. So now the back cap will just slide up like that, and the front will slide on. So we'll do that now. Alright, so I've got everything on. I'm just doing a test. Gonna let it heat up, let the oil get thinner, let the heat get up, see if any oil comes out. I've put on the two front clamps. I've still got to do the ones in here. We're not leaking anywhere at the moment. Nothing there. Nothing there. They're all good at the moment, so just do this heat test and hopefully we're all good to go.
Alright, you ready? Yeah. Hey! Shh, dude, no. You gotta go like, hey. Oh, okay. Wait. My words float on the sound. Mouth all swimming around. Yeah. Wait for the drop of the sound. Yeah. Hey. My words float on the sound. My words float on the sound. My words float on the sound. I'm just having